what's going on, everybody? Today, I'm just going to be bringing you a pretty in-depth Nebula guide. I feel like there are a lot of people out there that have talked about how to get some of the mastery camos, but I don't think they've talked about how to obtain all the way up until Nebula. So this video, or maybe a series of videos, I haven't decided. It depends how long they take. I'm basically just going to talk about tips and tricks on how I got each mastery camo, the fastest way that you can obtain them, and then work my way through. So from gold all the way to Nebula, the best way that you guys can do it, some things that you guys are going to need in advance, and just some things to look out for, some things to prepare yourself for. So with that being said, because this video is already going to be kind of long, let's just jump right into it. So unfortunately, I believe that Treyarch may have done something to the spawn manipulation glitch, we'll call it, on Terminus with the room that you open up for the Easter egg. So if that still works, I tried it out a couple times today, and it seems like primarily they do spawn on the spawn point in the ground and that doorway, but they do come from outside as well. So that spot is still somewhat usable, just because you can do it on directed mode and cap the round out to whatever you want and not take as much damage. But it's still a little risky having zombies come in from outside and hit you on your left when you're supposed to be aiming just down the middle to hit the other spawn points. So if you guys want to utilize that one, that's what I used before. The one I'm about to show you now, to get the 2,000 headshots per weapon. But I believe that this one may be a little bit easier. It's a little bit, I would say, more mechanical to pull off. It's not necessarily a glitch. It's just essentially jumping to a spot that usually isn't accessible via, unless you buy doors. So I guess it's a glitch. It's not really that broken. Zombies still run at you. You can still die. It's not God mode or anything. I've never used those types of glitches, but there are a couple things that you need for this. I do not know for certain if you can do this spot in game without these augments, but I can try it out while we're live here, see if it works, just in case those of you, some of you don't actually have the augments that you're going to need. So the first one, you're going to go to weapons, augments, you're going to go to equip. And if you do not have this, I'll show you another one that you can potentially use as well. So there are two that I know of. You are going to need Ether Shroud, and you are going to need the Burst Dash. So when you pop the Ether Shroud, it essentially just launches you forward a couple of feet, right? And then you can do whatever else you want. I would say extra charge, just so you have a couple of tries if you screw up the first one. So the second thing to do is go to perks, go down to PhD, and then I would do the one that the Tribiologist is sliding distance and speed are increased. So I have seen it done with this as well, having the slide to get into the spot, which is really cool. And then just a couple of things to note for the overall camo grind. Maybe things that you guys haven't thought of, some things that may help you out in the long run, just to avoid doing what I did, feeling the way that I felt, because it is a very difficult grind in my opinion, as far as on like the tension on the mentality goes, like how tedious it can be. So some things to note is I think there are still two weapons in the game, unless you do this when Treyarch fixes it, hopefully, that are, when pack-a-punched, they are extremely difficult to get headshots with, and it just slows the grind down on the weapon significantly, so you cannot pack-a-punch them, or I should say, do not pack-a-punch them. It's not worth it in my opinion. So let's go to the first one, just in case some of you guys don't know. It is the LR762 sniper rifle. This one becomes explosive, so you cannot pack-a-punch this one. And it could be decent, as long as you do directed mode on this certain spot that I'm going to show you. You do directed mode and level up the rarity, you should be fine. This spot can be a little tough with sniper rifles, so if you don't want to use it for snipers and you want to do Terminus, or you just want to play normally, that's totally okay. This is just for most of the weapons in the game. And then the second one being the Mustang and Sally, or the GS45 here. When you pack-a-punch this weapon, it's the Mustang and Sally. It is pretty OP, but again, headshots or critical kills are extremely hard to get. So you cannot pack-a-punch that either. That one's a little bit easier to do on the spot I'm going to show you, just because you can tap it as fast as you can. The sniper, it's a bolt action, so just be cautious. You may have to run around, may keep some shock charges on you, whatever. And then there's a couple other augments that I want to show you guys that could help you, could just make it a little bit easier. So there's one for elemental pop. It is the electric cherry. Obviously, if you're using a weapon like I just mentioned, like the pistol or a sniper rifle, and it's not killing the zombies near as quick, you're gonna potentially have them running up into your face, and you know, there's obviously the threat of being down, so you don't want that to happen. This is where electric cherry comes into play. It'll keep you alive, it will stun the zombies and make it harder for them to kill you, so that's really important. As far as field upgrades go, I would definitely recommend Frenzied Guard with the Retribution upgrade, just because it knocks the zombies down, keeps them away from you. Frenzied Guard is just overall pretty solid anyway. You pretty much can't die while you're in that. If you don't have any of those and you would rather use Healing Aura, I would do the same thing here. Healing Aura is really solid. There is one that you can knock them down, the Stoic Presence. On activation, special and elite zombies are stunned while normal zombies are knocked down. So that one essentially does what the Retribution augment does for Frenzy Guard. So that's the few things that you need for this specific challenge. That is just gold. We're going to jump right into this game here. I'm going to try to make as little changes to the video, like the least amount of edits as possible, just so you guys can see the whole way through how to do it. I am going to show you how to do gold and opal in this match. Afterlife honestly it's very easy to obtain. It's the same. Here, I'll show you guys just so you're aware. So for the Afterlife camo, let's go to camos. So to get Afterlife, you just have to do consecutive kills 10 times without taking damage. And in this spot, whenever you unlock Opal for all the weapons, you'll be able to sit in this same spot. So I'm not really going to cover Afterlife because it's super self-explanatory. You just get kills. I did most of my Afterlife probably within a couple hours. It's really not that difficult. I can show you Nebula as well, just to show you the strategy that I use to do this the quickest way. This one takes a little bit of time, so bear with me. You can do Nebula over time, do the weapons that you prefer to use the most, and then just as you have some free time, feel free to go into the game and, you know, get some more Nebula camos. So just wanted to point that out before I jumped into the game. Let's fix my class here. Do not need attack laser for whatever reason. Always put suppressor on. Those of you who are not big zombies fans, go ahead and throw suppressor on. Gives you more salvage, which is super important. So gobblegums, don't worry about them. We don't need them. Try to save them. Use them for Easter eggs. You know, always keep that stash looking pretty healthy and juicy. You do not want to use those. So like I mentioned, gonna go into directed mode, Liberty Falls, and then queue it up. Unfortunately, after the update, they changed a lot of stuff. They re-added all the animations to the maps. I don't know why, but now that we're actually going to load in, I will cut this part to when we're in the game. I'll see you there. All right, everybody. So once you load into Liberty Falls, your round cap starts at 3. You can round cap this at whatever you want. I just recommend 15 to have the most zombies spawn at one time per round. It'll speed up the process, obviously, since you need 2,000 headshots, which is just absurd in my opinion. But in the long run, as you guys can see, Nebula does look pretty good, and you know, obviously with a better PC, better graphic settings. I have mine set low just to maximize my performance. The camo looks that much better. So just spawn into Liberty Falls, go up here. Might as well open this door because we're gonna have to open that up to progress the rounds anyway. Don't die like I am currently doing. Nice, got some extra points. And like I mentioned, you don't need to worry about gobblegums, so we're just gonna get going. So open up the doors as soon as possible. This should take us up to 5, I believe. After opening that door, yep, 5 after the first door. You can shoot the pool table, get the extra essence out of there. We need 1750 for that door, so let's go ahead and open that up. And then, for those of you who don't know, you can always lay at perks, get that extra loose change. You can also do that with the machine that's up on the roof, Wonderfist machine. I did not know that until recently. I accidentally did it, and yeah, so you can get loose change from the Wonderfist machine. Who knew? So I will show you guys once we get up to the spot that I'm going to be showcasing in this video. I will say there are like 1 or 2 things to note. Depending on the weapon, you do not want to max your weapon out. I know you're going to be sitting in these games for a while. Like, you know, if you get a weapon gold and then you hit the box, you're going to be getting a weapon done. You know, have a lot of money, have a lot of salvage. I do not recommend maxing your weapon out, as in tier 3 pack a punch and the legendary rarity. Do not do that. The reason I say that is because round 15 has some armored zombies. Armored zombies do not count as headshots if you one-shot them. So just remember that. Keep in mind the weapon you're using. So like for example, the Krieg here is one of the better weapons inside of zombies. If you're going to be using that, do not go crazy on the upgrades. That is gonna slow you down a bit. You want to maximize as many headshots as you possibly can, get this done as soon as possible. I know a lot of you guys are working, have families, don't have time to play, have a social life unlike me, and just want to get this done as soon as possible. So yeah, try to remember that. You'll kind of get a feel for the weapon as you upgrade it. So obviously you can probably go to blue rarity on pretty much every single weapon, and then just kind of play it by ear. Just kind of keep an eye on how much damage you're doing throughout the game, and then use that to dictate what upgrades you need to put on the weapon. Use that big noggin, and then you can get all the headshots you pretty much want. You could sit in this game forever because of the save quit feature. It's super helpful. So we're just gonna progress through this, and then I will be able to show you guys the spot. So I actually was being a silly goose and forgot that you need to have Ether Shroud on. So as I was saying, you need to get Ether Shroud up. So now that we're finally charging Ether Shroud, I will go ahead and do that. I am praying that I get a full power upgrade before I have to do this whole charge, but we will see. So like I had mentioned in the intro, I'm definitely going to be showing you guys gold and opal. You can work on both at the same time if you really want to, but note, when you're doing the opal challenges, you have to have a max round cap of 11. So do not go further. You cannot do it at 15. You have to have it on 11. So that's totally up to you if you just want to knock out all the gold first and then have a save quit capped at round 11. But when the time comes, I will show how to get that round cap 11 and then have manglers spawn every single wave of zombies. So when we get to that point, I will show you guys what you need to do. Right now, it's just about getting the field upgrade and getting some money because I'm broke and this is 2K. So let's keep on the same trajectory, try to get as many kills as possible. Obviously, if you're going for gold, you want to aim for the head. In this map, on directed mode, the Wonder Fizz machine is up there, so I would definitely recommend using Deadshot, just so you ensure that you're getting as many headshots as possible. Those of you on PC, well, you guys are correct, and use M and K. I'm on PC, but I like my controller. I play a lot of ranked, so aim assist is definitely a little overpowered. So, but those of you on PC with that really nasty aim don't need Deadshot, just aim at the head. So we have 2K. So just as a point of reference for the opal camo, if you intend to go for it, pick up this water valve. It's right here. It's right across from Speed Cola, right in front of the bank. So just interact with that, pick up the water valve, and then you're good to go for now. So I need to get my Ether Shroud up so I can show you guys the spot. For those of you curious about what I was just doing there, throughout the maps, if you're playing on standard, there are a bunch of random power-ups that spawn, and the full power-up is under that little table right there. Just a little side note, a little something to give you some more information on zombies if you're relatively new to it. Not the power-up I needed, but it is a power-up I will take. So those of you who are on this video simply for opal, I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to ensure that round 11 cap, you're going to only get manglers that spawn at the end, well, it's the beginning of every single round, but you will get one every single round. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, how to make sure you get it done, because I know that sometimes people talk about bug rounds being a problem, and I will talk about how the bug rounds can affect you if you save and quit. So let me get to the right round, and then we will talk about that. So one thing I didn't mention is that you guys definitely need to activate or interact with the little machine inside of the church. Completely forgot about that, but in order to get that round 11 cap, you have to just interact with that, and then you're at round 11. So we're almost to the point where I can showcase how to do the Opal strategy, which is going to be on this map as well. Theoretically, you could do it on any map you want. I think you just have to find a way to interrupt a bug round, and I'm going to get into how to do that on this map. Just got to finish up round 9, and then we are good to go. Alright, so we are on round 10. Now, round 10, you want to pray for a bug round. You want to pray for one. It's usually not going to happen, but if you get one, awesome. That makes everything super easy for you. So, as you can see, I did not get a bug round. That is not what we want. So I'm going to show you guys what you need to do. So you can go about most of this wave, this round, normally. But the one thing you need to remember and you need to ensure, because it's detrimental to the Opal camo strategy, is that you must hold one zombie at the end of this round. And I'm going to show you guys why here in a second. If you did not get a bug round on round 10, you must come into the bowling alley with the little faucet that I told you guys to grab, the little valve, and you have to punch this little wall right here, and this plate will fall off, right? So once you do that, all you have to do, interact with this, place the water valve, and then start it. Now just hold the valve for a minute so it doesn't go away. And then all you're going to do is make sure you kill that zombie from round 10, flip the wave. So now the round's 11, as you see, and I'm still doing the water valve step. You do not have to keep going here like I am. I just like to make sure that it's still going. And if you did it right, you're going to notice that I did not get a bug round. And that's exactly what we want. That is perfect. That means everything is set up. You are fine. You are free to leave this place. You can do whatever the heck you want to. You are a free man. So, for the Opal strategy, I'm going to show you guys where I sat, because that also kind of goes hand in hand with the strategy for gold on this map as well. So, all you're going to do is come up onto the bank roof here. And there's that mangler that I told you guys about. Don't worry about that. That's just a valve failing. I'm going to kill the mangler. If I can aim. Alright, mangler's dead. I just want to showcase to you guys that he will spawn after every reset of round 11. So I just have to get past round 11 real quick. I am going to buy this and go across just so I don't die and have a lot more room to run around. Also, here's the Wonder Fizz. You crouch or prone, you get the loose change, which I didn't know about, so that's awesome. So, I'm just going to try to end the round as quickly as possible here to showcase to you that the mangler will spawn every single round, every single end of the wave, I guess, and you can get that Opal camo. There you go. So that's how you get Opal. He will spawn every single time. I killed him there. I'll run through one more round before I show you guys the gold strategy, just to show you that this Opal strat is solid. And if you don't have a mangler spawning every single time on a round cap of 11, then you must have gotten the bug round on 11, but you know, you killed the zombie too early, or you didn't put the valve down on round 10 and then killed the zombie. So it's probably something that you did. Just restart, try again. Make sure that you save one zombie on round 10. Start the valve. Make sure you have a decent amount of progress on the valve. Kill the zombie from round 10, and then you are free to leave. And this is the last one I'm going to show you guys. Just, I want to double and triple check that it does come every single wave. And there he is again. So those curious on the timing of an Opal from 0 to 30, it takes probably about 20 minutes or so, depending on what weapon you're using and how fast you kill the mangler. So that is Opal. Now I'm going to try to save one zombie to showcase the gold spot. So I have my second charge of Ether Shroud, which is awesome. Now I just need to save one zombie here. We are about there. So a couple more zombies. Awesome. Okay. So, for those of you curious where to camp or sit on this roof for Opal, you just open this up. Sit right there. The zombies can't come from any other way except right down this little pathway. So that speeds it up. You just run over to the window, kill the mangler, run back, do your thing. Alright. So, the spot we're going to be sitting on is actually from where you buy this door. It's down on that roof down there. So, you don't want to buy that door. You don't want to buy anything else, just to make sure that you don't screw up the spawns. So all you're gonna do, you're gonna run, get to the close to the edge as possible, and with your ether shroud, you're gonna sprint and ether shroud to that roof, kind of like that. So that is how you do it with ether shroud. It's super easy. You just sprint, jump, land on the roof, and then you're on it. So with that being said, I am gonna do my best to accomplish this without ether shroud because I want to show you guys the ways that you're able to do it. So I am going to attempt it, and bear with me here, I have not done it with anything else just yet. So I am going to attempt it without the PhD slide, and then I'm going to do it with the PhD side. So we're going to see if I can do it without. Stamina up might help you get there just with the increased sprint. So I don't know if you can, I don't think you can actually just get to that roof with a normal jump, but we will try. No, you cannot. Okay. Maybe if you get a really solid lineup on that, maybe. But if you have Ether Shroud and then you have the slide we're going to try, you should be fine. Ether Shroud makes it super, super easy. So we're going to go one more time here. We're going to see if this PhD slide actually works. Oh, wow. Yeah, you can definitely make that. So I'm going to give it one more go. I just wanted to showcase how you guys can do it, just in case you didn't have the augment for Ether Shroud. But it doesn't take that long to level up an augment to get this anyway. So if you really want to do this, I would just suggest doing Ether Shroud. Zipline is still cooling down. I think they added longer cooldowns. Maybe I was too far to the right. Yeah, okay. So you can do it with either with the PhD slide. So you just have to make sure you're as far to the left on that ledge as possible, and then you can just slide your way on over here. Now, the reason this spot is so good for camos is because you left that door open, or closed rather. You did not buy this barrier here. You sit all the way in this back corner, and the zombies will just jump up from this ledge here. I'm going to showcase it with the last zombie that's on the map. Let's wait for him to spawn here. Let's take a look why he's taking his time. There he is. All right. So all the zombies are going to do is jump up right there, and you just spray at their head. And on average, with that spot, depending on what round you're on, if you're going for gold and opal on round 11, it's going to take you a little bit more time because you don't have as many zombies as you would on round 15. But with round 15, on average, from a gun that has 0 headshots or critical kills, it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to obtain the gold camo. Now, those times can vary. If you have to save, quit, if you have to take a break or pause the game. And then, like I mentioned, if you're on round 11, obviously there's not as many zombies. So just keep that in mind. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention for the opal camo is that if you save and quit, try to make sure that you save quit inside of the bowling lanes, because when you spawn back in, the bug round is going to start really fast. And to avoid that, you want to go reapply the valve to the wall and start the valve again. And you have to do this very, very quickly, or else it's going to spawn the bug round. I think the manglers can still spawn, but you may just have them spawn less frequently. So to completely avoid that, either finish up the opal if you can before you leave the game, or like I mentioned, save quit in Liberty lanes, be close to the valve if possible, sprint over immediately after loading in, place the valve, and then continue on. You just need to make sure that you have the valve placed so the bug round does not spawn. And also, if you're up here and doing opal or gold camo, definitely avoid doing the step as far as killing the groundskeeper. For whatever reason, the mangler stops spawning and messes everything up. Do not kill the groundskeeper. Now we are going to ignore Afterlife. Like I mentioned, Afterlife can be done on that same rooftop down there that I showed you with the gold spot. It's super easy, super quick. I did Afterlife in a couple hours, so you guys should be able to as well. But for the actual Nebula camos, guys, this is probably the best strategy that I have found that helped me out. And it's going to be progressing in the story. So we have to further progress the Easter egg to get to this point. And then I'm going to show you how to get Nebula the fastest way possible. Go ahead and pick that up. So now I Need to kill the Mangler. Make his cannon drop from his arm. Because I need the Mangler cannon. I unfortunately did not get a Mangler cannon this time, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to go buy one. I guess this is also pretty helpful for those of you who may not have beaten the Easter egg yet. So all you do is come in here, dig around, get the wires, and then you're all set. So now completely disregard what I said for the other camos. We have to go up and kill the groundskeeper inside of the cemetery in order to obtain the tool shed key, which has the last part for the jet gun. Oh, I got really lucky. There's a groundskeeper. Grab his key. And then you take his key, come over here to the tool shed. You open the tool shed, and then bam, there's the next part. So now, all we have to do is go all the way back to spawn. And as you guys can see, the Manglers have been spawning this whole time. I guess the groundskeeper, they may have fixed that. So if you want to kill him or need to kill him for whatever reason, you might be okay. I just know when I was going for the Nebula grind, if you killed the groundskeeper, it screwed up the process. I don't know why. But let's build this real quick. Now I need to go and get the parts for it. So for the first part, you're going to come over here, out of spawn, run straight into the quick revive room. And all you're going to do is hold right trigger if you're on a controller. I believe it's right click for mouse and keyboard. I'm not sure. Somebody can put that in the comments below. You suck that part up. Essentially, you just don't want to use the big blast attack on the jet gun, because I know some people don't know that you can actually suck the parts in like this. You can get the whole part to you, as opposed to repeating the process over and over with the big blast. You can still suck the parts with the big blast, but it takes way longer. Definitely do it this way. Speeds everything up. And then once you guys actually do this, all you have to do is get to this point and then have a save quit. This save quit doesn't affect you at all. You can save and quit whenever you want, wherever you want, and then hop right back in and go for Nebula. So this one is completely unaffected by saving, quitting. It's only the Opal, as far as I'm aware, in the bug rounds. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure you be careful. One thing to note about this is it is an elite zombie. This is stronger than specials. This is a strong boss. It is solo, so it's not going to be as strong as if you were playing with 4 people, but it is going to be strong. So I would recommend, at the very least, going for this Pack-a-Punch tier 2, and then possibly purple rarity if you're able. As you can see, I do not have that, simply because I had to spend my money on the Mangler cannon, because he didn't drop it. I'm unfortunate. It happens, but definitely try to have a tier 2 pack on your gun. That is going to be huge for this. It's going to kill them faster. I'll show you the strategy in killing both. So if you have a Mangler, there is a special Mangler that can spawn, and then there is a special Abomination that can spawn as well. Doesn't matter which one you get. Both will do the job, but there are ways to kill both to make this easier. Mangler is ideal just because you shoot his helmet off and you run around and you hit him with critical hits to the head. Makes it very, very, very quick, very easy. So I'm going to attempt to get Pack-a-Punch tier 2 just to showcase this to you guys. The Abomination, if that's what you get out of this step here, is a little bit more complicated. He causes a little bit more havoc than the Mangler does. But I will show you guys how to deal with that in a second. So let's just get 15k. I am there with one use of the jet gun ability. We're going to run over here, upgrade my weapon. And if I'm lucky finishing off this round, I might be able to get it purple as well, just to finish this up quicker. So we are just going to upgrade that. Let's go. Probably get a max ammo here as well. Spawn behind me. Now we are going to kick this off. So you can do as much damage to the zombies, to the elite boss, as you want with whatever weapon, with a melee weapon if you want, because I know melee weapons are really OP. But you just have to ensure that the final kill, the final shot that kills the zombie, is actually with the weapon that you want Nebula on. That's the only stipulation to this entire thing. Other than that, Nebula is only a matter of time. It's super easy. You just have to be willing to put in the grind. If you see that bar in the top left of the screen, you can't allow some zombies to slip through, so don't worry about it if they do. You just can't go all the way to 0. And then once you do that, this elite boss is going to spawn here. And I did get the dog, which is good. I got the abomination. So when he starts shooting his lasers, go ahead and bust the eye out. After that, he's going to charge. And as you can see there, you want to stay in the cemetery area. It can be a little hectic. But when he charges, he's going to run it. You want to stand behind one of these trees with the grating, essentially. Because it's going to make him charge into that and not charge into you. And then once he does that, it's actually going to make him roar and open up the eye even quicker. So I'll show you again. He hit the tree. He's going to roar. And then you pop him in the head and he's dead. And that is the fastest way to get Nebula. That is the fastest way I was able to do it on one single map, guys. You can do it in one save quit if you really want to. If you have the box luck, I just suggest going for as many camos as you possibly can. Just spin the box once you finish a weapon. Continue the headshots. Continue getting Opal. If you want to do it on round 11 just to save it for when you actually do get Opal on a set of weapons, go for it. Might just have to dedicate a little bit more time. Now, the last thing I will say before I end this video is make sure you try to swap up your weapons, guys. Try to use some bad weapons, then go to some good ones, and then, swap between the two. I did it the wrong way. I used a lot of the really good weapons first, and my mental was just fried by the end of the grind because I did the GS45 unpack-a-punched. I also had to do the LR unpack-a-punched. It was pretty tough. So if you want to make this grind a little bit easier on yourself, try to alternate between some good weapons, some bad weapons. And the last thing before I get off of here is going to be that you only have to obtain 33 weapons out of the many that are in the game now. So if you don't want to do launchers, you do not have to do launchers like I chose not to do, simply because it was too tedious. I didn't want to wait. You can use the battle pass weapons or the weapons that were unlocked via the events. That will speed things up significantly, make it easier. You can pick and choose what weapons to get gold, what weapons you don't want to get gold. But you just have to hit 33 weapons. That is all you have to do, guys. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Always try to help each other out. I do plan on making a Citadel de More Easter egg tutorial and further minor side quests on that map as well, just to help you guys out with that since it's pretty fresh. I know a lot of YouTubers have already beaten me to that, but I figured I'd get an in-depth Nebula guide out there, something super quick and easy. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, drop a subscribe, all that fun stuff, and then I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.